All right, welcome in everybody. Um, so, as was announced in last week's Twid or the week before, we had some content creators that were invited that were able to do some interviews, capture some gameplay, and preview the game in its current state. Um, and they just kind of went over how some of the game is looking as of right now with exotics, weapons, the new tier systems with the maps, the new tier systems with the weapons and armor. Um, and the following creators have videos that are out for us to watch. I've watched Mactix, Astacross, and there was one more that I watched. Let's see. Oh yeah, and Scaro 9. So these are just clips of their videos and what they have. Bungie obviously, doing work by shouting them out in the Twid for the whole community to see their videos, and anybody else that's coming in to check out the game. So this is really big for these content creators. I'm sure this is flooding their channels, which is awesome. It's awesome to be recognized by a developer and a company, and this just takes them to a whole nother level for the next expansion coming out. And these guys have obviously put in the work, been with the game for a while. Some of them are newer, some of them haven't been around, but they have backgrounds, like Mr. Raffle Waffles. He's been growing in the community. He's really big in the zombies community for Call of Duty, and he's come over to Destiny and just blown up in the Destiny community. And then there's other creators, Benny, Cacus, Zavalar, Fallout, Say Walla, and of course Dado. Dado's an OG. Mactix is a growing channel. He's really big with the community as far as will it build and just doing builds, helping out people in GMs and in other things. And of course, they have videos out already. What I want to go over is just answering some of the community's questions. Bungie decided to respond on the Twid, and starting at the top, will we get more vault space? Basically, no. They have plans for later in Renegades. Will I be able to use my current gear? They say the current gear is viable in the Edge of Fate, and you will surely use it in the near future when beginning the expansion, and even in contest mode for the world first race. At a high level, the new gear we introduce alongside gear tiering will offer new benefits once you start getting involved with certain activities. Armor will have spikier stats and higher total numbers, as well as specific archetypes that will help you put together stronger builds. Same thing with weapons. The higher the tier, the more extra perks and enhancing options you'll have. And they're going to have more info in upcoming Twids. What new weapon archetypes are coming with the Edge of Fate? And they're saying there is a spread shot hand cannon, and to tune into the next developer streams to learn more about weapons that are coming in the Edge of Fate. What's happening to mobility, recovery, and resilience? They haven't addressed that till this Twid. There is a section below we will get to that's going to go over that. Is the director going away? They're focusing on the portal for the Edge of Fate, but the director is not going away. So we'll still have access to the activities and locations through it, and Kepler can be accessed through the portal. And they're introducing a new currency. It's called unstable cores. They will be earned from dismantling high-level gear, among other sources, and will reset at the start of each 6-month season. So obviously this is going to be something that we're going to have to grind for, currency we're going to have to grind for. How hard it'll be to come by, I guess we'll find out. Gear tiering and exotic armor. So if you watch the videos, a lot of people are going over the tiers and the armor and how some of the armor has little icons in the top right corner that tells you what tier it is. I will be inserting some pictures for reference to look at, so once you get a look at it, you'll be able to tell exactly. So when you log in to play the Edge of Fate, you're going to notice armor stats have changed. So this is what's going to happen with our old stats. Mobility will now be weapons. Resilience is going to be health. Recovery is going to be class. Strength will be melee. Discipline will be grenade. And intellect is now super. So the new stats and what they do, they're gonna break it down here for us. So the health is 1 to 100. It grants 0 to 70 healing when picking up an orb of power. Grants 0 to 10% flinch resistance. And then when you go from 100 to 200, because you can now go above 100, shields start recharging from 0 to 25% and more quickly, and take 0 to 50% less time to fully recharge. And then it's a 0 to 20 additional shield capacity versus combatants. Melee starts at 1 to 100, improves the base cooldown of your melee ability, improves the amount of melee energy gain from external sources and any melee regeneration speed scalers from other sources. Then you go 100 to 200, 0 to 30% increased melee ability damage, and this includes powered, unpowered, and glaive melees. Going into the grenade section, same thing, 1 to 100, and then it improves the base cooldown of your grenade ability. From there, it improves the amount of grenade energy gained from external sources and any grenade regeneration speed scalers from other sources. Then you go 100 to 200, then you're at 0 to 65% increased grenade ability damage when you hit the 100 and 200 range. So now we're starting to see like some effects based on the tier of your stats. Super 1 to 100 improves the super energy gain from damaging targets. Does not change the base cooldown time of your super. Improves the amount of super energy gain from external sources and any super regeneration speed scalers from other sources. And then in the 100 to 200 range, 0 to 45% increase super ability damage. So more focusing on the damage they do, not so much on how fast you get it back. Class, same thing, 1 to 100, improves base cooldown of your class ability, improves the amount of class energy gained from external sources, and any class regeneration speed scalers from other sources. And then you go 100 to 200, grants a 0 to 40 HP overshield. In PvP, that's going to be a 0 to 10 on casting your class ability. Duration is determined by the ability used. Example, dodge and thruster lasts 5 seconds, and then Barricade and Rift lasts 10 seconds. And then we go to weapons. So 1 to 100 improves the weapon reload and handling speeds, improves damage versus minor and major combatants, and then it's 0 to 15% for primary and special, 0 to 10% for heavy. Then you go to the 100 to 200 range. It grants a chance for ammo bricks produced to contain more ammo than normal, improves damage versus boss combatants and guardians, 0 to 15% for primary and special, and then 0 to 10% for heavy. Bonus weapon damage versus players is 0 to 6%. And the stats going away with the new system, they're going to have them set to a fixed value for all players. Mobility is fixed to what 30 once was for Titans and Warlocks, and 40 for Hunters. Additionally, there are new leg armor mods to adjust higher. So resilience is going to fix to what 100 once was. Recovery is going to be fixed to around what 60 once was. So moving on, ability stats and recharge rates. As a part of this major rework, we have tuned all of the base recharge rates of abilities to better align with the way the new stats work. At low stat investment, 0 to 30, your abilities will recharge slower than what they used to, but at high investments, 70 to 100, they will be recharging faster. Any chunk energy gains, like demolitionists, provide a direct amount, and any energy recharge scalers, such as Crown of Tempest, will also be scaled by stat investment. At 70 stats, they will match the live game values and surpass them up to 100 stats. Below 70 stats, they will give less value than the live game. So they believe the changes together make the stats more impactful than they have been previously. And while there are now more trade-offs to not investing in a stat, committing to a stat will allow those that invest in them to achieve even higher potency than before. They hope that this leads to a bit more diverse landscape of build crafting than before, allowing players the choice of committing hard to a single ability type, or perhaps building something a bit more Swiss Army knife, while not allowing the choice of both at once. Their internal playtesting shows that a variety of both brand new and old reliable builds shine in the new system, so they're excited to see what we all cook up. Now they're going to shift to exotics and how they're going to work in the system. If we're looking at exotic armor that we have right now, only to realize you're going to need a different stat setup for the builds. Armor 3.0's announcement in October, their plans for exotics has evolved to better support the transition. And if it sounds a little weird than how it's written, I'm kind of just trying to paraphrase, but at the same time get the point across. So, and then I'm trying to read it as fast as possible, so this video is not like 30 minutes long. So with the release of Edge of Fate, they'll be updating new drops of existing exotics to use the Armor 3.0 system, reducing the amount of time it'll take to get armor with stats that we want. In addition, 801 is going to be having something to do with the exotic armor. So most guardians should be able to focus their choice of any previously acquired exotics with some influence on stats. And if you prefer to take time and use the roles we have, they will get stat updates, the stat updates described above. But don't wait too long. Ada's exotic focusing will only be available in the Year of Prophecy. So I guess this is like a little way to bump us in the direction of the Armor 3.0, while helping us maintain whatever exotics we like to use at the current version of the game going into Edge of Fate. And then exotic class items, they will be updating directly with stats based on the perks that are on them. So if we already have a perk combination we like, we can keep them. And if we're still hunting, feel free to visit the peril part now to get ready for the Edge of Fate. And then don't forget Zur either. His will is not his own, but he does bring exotic class items to purchase from time to time. So I think they're gonna have exotic class items this Friday, tomorrow, because they mentioned it in here. So we can start grinding and farming for the roles that we want. So new players, if you hop on tomorrow or this weekend and there is exotic class items, be sure to watch my video over exotic class items, leave a comment, and we can farm or at least unlock exotic class item focusing, so you can start farming for the roles that you want. And like I said, leave a comment in my class item video and we can go over, we can go over together what you want to focus on. And then they'll have more details on how this will work. ADOS focusing will work, and the way stats will roll for all armor in the future, in a future Twid. So now we're getting to some juicy stuff, and not juicy in the good way. We're talking juicy in the not so good way. This is going over Prismatic in the Edge of Fate. So this is why I'm saying get in now, try out Prismatic, go play Final Shape. They are now doing their infamous run of balancing, quote unquote, for the new expansion. And hopefully this won't be forever. Hopefully they'll change some things up to where it'll go back to how it is right now. But this is what's coming in the Edge of Fate. So to kind of summarize all of what's here, they're worried about power creep, and to balance and make sure that everything's usable in the next expansion, they are focusing on aspects for different for all three of the classes. And currently Consecration on Titan gets 3 fragment slots. They originally said it was going down to 1, but now they are doing just 2, which, I mean, in all reality, going from even 3 to 2 is a big hit. Knockout is going to stay at 2, so that's fine. For the Hunter, Stylus Executioner is going to stay at 2. It was going to 1. Ascension is going to 2, and Winter Shroud is going to 2. They were both previously at 3. And then the Warlock, Feed the Void, is going to stay at 2. It was going to 1. Helion is going to 2. And Bleak Watcher is going to 2. So I'm going to make a video, I think, over where Prismatic is at currently, and then what it's going to go to and why it's going to affect going from having 3 fragment slots to 2 fragment slots. So just to kind of give a visual of what we're looking at missing out on. So that's something I'll work on either tomorrow or you know, over the weekend. And I'm sure other content creators will be going over that as well, but I'm gonna try my best to get out my video just to get my perspective out there as well. But yeah, so yeah, they're nerfing prismatic pretty hard, and I don't think it's gonna be for the better. Definitely, prismatic was the subclass to use. Now it's gonna be just like all the other ones, where it's only gonna be good to use in certain situations, but it's not gonna be as strong as what it is right now. So that's why I say get in the game, try it out, and get the full prismatic experience, not the prismatic light experience. And then to kind of close down on what's going on currently, Prophecy was one of the first dungeons that came into Destiny 2, and now it is available in Rite of the Nine for free. So if new players get in there, if y'all want to do some runs on Prophecy or any Rite of the Nine dungeons, which is going to start June 17th. All Rite of the Nine dungeons will be available to play at any time and any difficulty, and we'll have increased currency drops active for all dungeons. And then from the 24th to July 8th, all dungeons will be available, and only one will have an increased currency reward. So week of June 24th is Spire of the Watcher, week of July 1st will be Ghost of the Deep, and then week of July 8th will be Prophecy. And then from July 8th all the way until July 15th, the day that Edge of Fate comes out, there will be a loot palooza. It will be increased currency rewards and weapon drops from enemies in all dungeons. And then they're going to turn on a new way to spend non-area manifold currency. So now that the Prophecy is available, so are some more latest Bungie rewards. Both the Rite of the Nine, Raglan, and the Seeker of the Nine display metal poster are now available at Bungie Store. So complete the Triumph to unlock them, and we have until July 15th to earn them. And something else they are going over is an adept rotation calendar. So when the Edge of Fate launches, adept weapons will be going away in favor of the new tier gear system. Before that happens, they want to be crystal clear on when we will be able to earn adept weapons from Trials and Nightfall, in case we want to complete our collection. So Nightfalls, week of June 3rd will be Rake Angle, week of June 10th Shadow Price, week of June 17th will be Palindrome, week of June 24th Plug 1, week of July 1st Lotus Eater, and week of July 8th Wild Style. Childs of Osiris, week of June 3rd Yesterday's Question, June 10th Keen Thistle, June 17th there will be no Trials, June 24th Tomorrow's Answer, July 1st Shayura's Wrath, and then July 8th is Aisha's Care. And that looks like that's all the news they have for the upcoming expansion and changes. Again, if you are looking for a fire team for either exotic class items, Rite of the Nine, or just help with the game, someone to kind of talk you through something if my videos haven't been clear enough, and you just need like a one-on-one tutorial on some things, feel free to leave a comment, send me a message, leave your Bungie tag so we can add each other. I can add you, you can add me, and we can start a fire team together and kind of focus in on what you need help with, or what you're looking to do. Me personally, I'm looking to unlock microcosm. So if anyone's looking to do the microcosm missions, I can teach you how to do it. I just need people in my fire team so we can do it. It's a 3-player activity, and it unlocks for us at the end of the campaign. So if you've beaten the final shape campaign or need help with the final shape campaign, you know, you can also hit me up. But other than that, until next time, thank you guys. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to leave a like, a follow, and let's just have a conversation about the game.